Congratulations on your new documentary, Artfully United.
Thank you, Gig. It's a joy to be with you this morning.
No, it's a joy to actually speak with you about this wonderful documentary. But we have to ask that obligatory question. How did this documentary first came about with you?
I met the gentleman who's the subject, Mike Norrice, back in 2013 when I was visiting Los Angeles from where I live in Maine, and had a couple of connections out here, had made a feature film, a narrative film that I wrote, produced, and acted in called SRQ State of Mind. And that had been just about done. It finally was finished and went into the 2017 film festival in upstate New York. But I met Mike back in 2013 while I was out there trying to get some traction. Uh, and the trip went okay. I was with an ex-girlfriend and we were shopping the last day we were there on Melrose, where Mike had a store, BYN Customs, and we heard music in there. We saw some really beautiful, remarkable artwork from out on the sidewalk, and then got to know Mike, bought a few pairs of Air Force One shoes, commissioned some other ones from him, and became his regular customer to the point that I was invited out to when he had some events at his store there. And then fast forward a few years, I was having Mike come out to Maine to do some commissioned murals at my house, inside my house. And Mike was already an activist, heavily involved in California Ceasefire Committee that worked with gangs and with bringing peace to different areas. And he had already started speaking in schools. He had already been commissioned to do some murals in some schools and community centers. And it was opportune timing. We had become good friends, and I wanted to do some more serious, positive production. And he was looking to do this mural tour around Los Angeles with inspiring messages, but fairly simple, uh, block lettering oriented murals that belie his tremendous talent as a uh, artist who can, I mean, just objectively talented, can paint and draw, I mean, very realistic portraits of people. He can also do wonderful, colorful, abstract pieces, but this was a much more basic black letters on white walls with his character, Powerful Paul, providing some consistency from mural to mural. But that began in 2016. So that's when I hired Dave Benner, the director, to come out with me on about 35 trips out to Los Angeles over the better part of the last 10 years while Mike was doing the mural tour. He's 14 murals deep into the 20 at this point.
Now, for those people who don't know, Artfully United is his mural tour, but it's not an organization. It's all about Mike, right?
He has a nonprofit, I think 501(c), but it is set up as a nonprofit. People are able to make contributions that are tax deductible, and that goes towards the paint that he uses, that goes towards some of the other logistics, but it's on walls of properties that he doesn't own. You know, some of them are on the sides of commercial buildings, one's on the side, a couple are on the side of churches. He gets the support and enlistment of property owners. He works with the gangs in the area. He works with community leaders. Sometimes it's clergy, sometimes it's law enforcement or political or other nonprofits. And it's been really inspiring as we show in the documentary. It's really some of the very challenged areas in largely South Central LA, but he also has murals in Compton, Watts, Inglewood, and it's really been remarkable. His personal story is inspiring, but the Artfully United mural tour uh, is the premise of the movie that we cover.
Now, how did you convince Mike to participate and his family to participate in your film?
There was already the existing relationship that was solid and very positive, and we'd become good friends. And Mike had actually acted in a few of my other projects. I had made a series of short films, and Mike is a very talented overall guy. So he acted in one of them, playing a probation officer. Stacey Arnett, who's in the film, had been in that film also, and uh, we 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 were committed to doing our best from a production value standpoint, uh, with the filming and recording interviews, but it really did come down to Mike's willingness to be vulnerable. He's not really a self-promoting type guy. It's funny, a lot of people are aware of him as an artist or business person or somebody to whom people seek for commissioned portraits, a lot of celebrities, and they find out later on, oh wow, you're the one doing the big murals, the one at Slauson and Hoover Forgiveness. So our film hopefully puts a face with those murals. His Powerful Paul character is consistent in both his clothing line and his other artwork, but on these murals, he's doing one thing or another, pulling open a zipper to reveal the word believe, or standing in the midst or sitting in the middle of the lettering where it says peace on the side of the wall. So it took a little bit of discussion, but I wouldn't say it took a lot of convincing. I think from the outset we understood this would be a film about Mike, about what he's doing with his activism, but it would have been impossible to, divorce his circumstances and his motivation from his family of origin, which is really remarkable.
Now, speaking of family origins, and you want to portray his vulnerable side, talk to us about the effects of his father. You want to tell that story on how all this basically helped him shape him to be the man he is today.
Yeah, Mike talks a lot about the absence of a father in his daily life and his sympathy for other young people from challenging circumstances, whether it's poverty, whether it's uh, lack of structure, whether it's lack of leadership. And Mike and his sisters, Carmel and Joy, are tremendously successful adults in no small part because of the devotion of their mom, Dorcas, who was a longtime public school teacher. She raised Mike and Carmel without their dad, Salim, who, without giving too many things away, uh, he was a Vietnam veteran who served our country, became addicted to drugs like a lot of Vietnam vets and a lot of other people serving around the world in times of high stress or conflict. But Salim came back post-Vietnam, struggled with addiction. It's what led to his incarceration. And the heartbreaking part, early to midway through the film, when Salim was getting back on his feet post-release, he sought treatment during a relapse, and he went to the VA in Amarillo, Texas, and was denied treatment because there wasn't enough room on their drug unit, and was left to figure things out on his own. And so it's hard not to watch this film as an American and really, really reckon with the ugly history we have, some of it very deliberate racial disenfranchisement, but other times, whether it's a lack of funding or a lack of resources, that these are people who have already even served our country, and and then you see the effects of decades without his presence in their life, and it doesn't turn out as well in many cases as it has for Mike and his family. And the absence of a father, it looms over a lot of the film, and it makes it, to me, all the more remarkable what Mike and his sister Carmel have been able to do. Their sister Joy is also, just a bright, wonderful example of what's possible with support and some of the other good circumstances that they've had with their mom and with each other and that support system.
Well said. And logistically, how did you pull off a coast to coast, production, especially, figuring out his scheduling of his mural reveals and accomplishments?
Mike's always been a very organized guy and a very responsible guy, and he's a, able communicator and has been very gracious with us about letting us know when he wanted to do mural releases. There's times that we feature murals in the film where noticeably there were no, release celebrations. A lot of those took place during COVID. To say the least, that was a challenge for us logistically to come out from the state of Maine. It was Dave and I on most of the trips, but we also brought several of our camera people that are based in Maine. And now some of my post-production executive producers, Molly Connors, Amanda Bowers, live in Maine. Also, our friend Alex Spat, who's a producer, lives here in Los Angeles. But uh, just traveling cross country, I mean, there's challenges baked into the cake, from the beginning of this project with movement, but didn't deter us. We did as much as we could and participated in as many of these unveilings so that we could get footage as possible.
And I know you worked a long time on documentaries, like any other documentaries, but when did you know how to end this film? After all, he's not done with Artfully United.
That's correct. We got about maybe a year and a half ago. Dave, the director, did a very good job editing the film as we went along. I think we knew kind of when we wanted it to end, and got hooked up with Fife post-production studios with Molly Connors and Amanda and them. They have a beautiful big facility in New Jersey, and hired them to do my sound design, color adjustment, talked about distribution, and in the process, we even decided to break some of the bones with respect to the story and edit together a new piece. And Dave, the director, was very supportive. His fingerprints are still all over it. Mine are too. But it was the best decision we made. Molly serves on the Maine State Film Commission with me. We were both appointed a couple of years ago by Governor Janet Mills, and was so impressed with her. Knew that she had this post facility in New Jersey and brought them on board. It was a great decision. So the movie changed again after we had already finished it, I'd say 2 years ago. And then I've been working with Fife and also on the distribution and post production and release this last year and a half plus.
Well said. Well, Chris, I've taken a lot of your time, so I'm going to wrap it up with one last question with you. As audiences have a chance to watch Artfully United, what is the one most important message that you hope they walk away with?
This is a distinctly modern American success story that proves you need to have a support system of some kind, and the challenges are so much more uh, daunting for people without family in their lives, without loved ones in their lives. But Mike is being that person for the community at large, because he recognizes how many people didn't have the blessings of a strong support system, even if one of the parents was incarcerated. Uh, and I hope that people will be inspired through education, through personal responsibility, uh, that decisions matter, and that there's long-term consequences, unfortunately, for somebody that doesn't have a support system early on. So I want people to be inspired, but also realize that we have a long way to go in this world and in our country.
Well said, Chris. Chris, thank you very much for talking to us about Artfully United. And enjoy the release. I know it's such a rewarding process, and your film is also inspirational.
Thank you, Gig. It's a joy to talk with you today. It really is.
Thank you. Hopefully next time. Thank you.